Hello and welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Thanks so much for continuing to watch. We're going to continue talking about your health. I'm here with Dr. Lucille. We're going to talk a little bit about collagen. Thanks
Yeah,
for coming on the show.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
I think that for a little while, none of us really thought about how much collagen we were getting and what it was doing for our skin and if it was working with or against the sunscreen. Like, can we talk about it
You bet. I mean, collagen it's obviously very popular right now and extremely important for our skin, our hair, our nails, our tendons, even. And so it's a really important thing to think about, especially for skincare and especially in the summertime. But there is more, for
a little?
sure.
So, in terms of it being summertime, why does that make a difference? Are we working against it with our sunscreen and stuff like that? Like, why does that matter?
Well, I think what's really important to understand in the summer is that the summer sun is obviously a stressor, but there are other things as well. People are out traveling. They're usually, there's barbecues, they're imbibing in things like more alcohol. They could be traveling, like I said. So there's pollution, there's dehydration, poor sleep, psychological stressors, smoking. All of those things add up to affecting your skin. And skin these days, it's not just on the outside, it really is what is going on. It's kind of like your biology on display. It's going on in the inside. You might have heard of skin inflammation. You can see, it's funny when I go to the airport, it's a random slice of the population, and I can't help myself. I can start almost diagnosing people by just looking at their skin. So it's kind of an inside out job. And there's so much more than collagen. Collagen is important, and all of the things that help build collagen, like protein is very important to get good, clean protein. Having great vitamin C and healthy fats is very important for your skin. But there's also something called a bioactivator that is coming on strong. And it's something that I love because it's just not a supplement. Supplements just kind of add to something, right? This is making your body do what it already does. It's boosting its own internal defenses, fighting those free radicals and oxidative stress, and making your skin way more beautiful and way more healthy.
Okay, so during the summertime, it's not a matter of, subtracting anything that you've been doing, but perhaps just this addition will help you.
Yeah, well, it always is nice to reduce exposure to the things that like calming the alcohol intake, getting more nutrient dense diet, and then, yeah, taking something that helps you protect, nourish, and recover. And that's where Immunage comes in. That is what we were talking about. That bioactivator, it's a fermented papaya extract. So it's not a pill, it's in a little powder packet, and it's easy to take. And there are so many clinical studies on this end product that makes me proud to introduce it to people.
Okay, well, you make it sound like it's easy, a little easy addition to our lifestyle. Because, I think most of us feel like, we're already taking enough vitamins, we're already taking so many supplements. There's pills, 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 but it's not a pill.
It is not a pill. It's a little packet. I know people get pill fatigue. Keisha, sometimes I look at my supplement cupboard and I'm like, not, not today. I'm not going to do it. But this fermented papaya preparation. You can look at it if you go to immunage.com, and it's exactly how it sounds. It's IMMUNAGE. So great for the immune systems, great for anti-aging. You'll see the little box and just the easy packet that it comes in. But also the studies, as a practitioner, as a clinician, it's so important for me to really believe and understand the outcomes when I'm recommending something to people. And so there was a 90-day double-blind study involving 60 adults. That's a pretty good size. They all had signs of skin aging. And this fermented papaya preparation was associated with improvements in moisturization of the skin, elasticity, and also evenness, as well as markers related to the skin's antioxidant defenses. So it works. And like I said, people are taking topicals all the time, right? You see them on the TikTok shop. They're almost everywhere. I have been guilty. I've bought into them. And the skin health is really an inside job and an outside job. So inside and outside topicals and those moisturizing creams, protection with good sunscreen do work, but also inside is really important. That is where the conversation starts.
Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing this information with us. It was good to meet you.
Ah, Keisha, thank you so much for having us. And at immunage.com, people can find out more.
All right. All right. Of course, Dr. Lucille makes it seem easy, right? She makes it in plain language so that you can get the point. Well, you know what? Go to the website, learn a little bit more, and perhaps this might be what you've been looking for your skincare health. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to this segment of Focus Atlanta. Please stay tuned for more.